T-minus 17 seconds and counting. 15, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, start, 2, 1, booster ignition, and liftoff.
think we might as well start. Let me know if you can hear me down below, because then we got 50% of this little show going. But first of all, please tell me, how are you lovely, lovely, sexy looking people doing? And remember, this stream is only for the sexy looking people.
This dance ain't for everybody. Only the sexy people.
Oh yeah. So what are we going to talk about? There's so many things to talk about today that we really have to hurry. Now, thank you, so Shahid, my soul brother. So much love to you. So many things going on. Now, I mean, I want to ask you a question straight out. Did you expect that we were going to see this rebounce? I didn't, right? We didn't say buy the dip this time. I did not categorize it as a flash crash. Anyway, the markets are really playing, let's say, volatility tricks on us. But hey, it's also funny how it's being, let's say, translated into normal people talk, right? So now we had, what was it, the core CPI or inflation data out better, and then all of a sudden we are seeing shitcoins and altcoins going to the moon, right? It all doesn't make sense anymore. But nevertheless, it's always good to see green, because I'm sure that there were many people really, really losing hope. And yeah, you see, there's one thing I wanted to point out. Even if you and I, we are crypto believers, but it can be that maybe we have a wife, maybe we have a father, maybe we have a husband, and they're thinking that we are investing into some shitcoin, some circus, something that's never going to materialize. And it is very hard to withstand that kind of psychological pressure if you better have, or your father, or for the grandpa or whoever, right? If they don't understand that the future of finance is being built right in front of our eyes, and it's being built on the blockchain, so they might actually push you to sell. However, now is the worst time to sell. Remember, we don't buy high and sell low. No, we buy low and sell high. Anyway, we're going to go over many, many pieces of news today. I think we need to start, and I think it goes a little something like this. I want to welcome you to Crypto Never Sleeps. In case you're new to this channel, you want to stay on top of the crypto world, but then do me a favor, hit like, smash, and subscribe so that you can be notified every time we upload new videos, so that you can, and this is important to me, protect your wealth, preserve your wealth, and ultimately increase your wealth. My name is Nico Harachi, and I run the littlest crypto channel on the interweb. Anyway, first things first, we need to go in and see the level of market manipulation, just like every day. Boom, here we are. So I always like to look at these charts here next to each other. Now you can maybe not see Cardano down here because of me, but Cardano is trading at 36 cents on the dollar, up 18%. We got Bitcoin up 12%, trading at 17,632, and we got Ethereum up 20%. Wow, I mean, it does make you feel better, right? I mean, it makes you feel, I don't know, confident. And then we got DOT at $5.94, up 10%. You see, it's actually, we are not really higher than where we were 2 days ago, right? But it feels good. At least it feels a comeback. Maybe it is, however, only a flash crash, right? I don't really have a view on that. But looking here at the 15-minute charts, we can see again correlation, right? It is just funny how it doesn't matter. We got Sam Friedman and Binance having troubles, and then all of a sudden everybody decides to sell everything they have, right? And then we got the core CPI or inflation number. I don't even know if it was CPI, which macro data came out today. But we got some macro data, and then all of a sudden everybody decides to go into the market again. Remember, it is being manipulated. It's just important that we understand that the cryptocurrency market is still not a mature market, and I think this displays it very good here. These four charts, they're correlating 0.99 correlation. We're looking here at the Bitcoin. I'm the technical genius here when it comes to technical analysis, but you gotta keep it simple, and we keep it purple here. The purple lines are important lines. So we're looking at the 7-day moving average on a weekly, and we can see we're still far below, right? So, I think as long as we will remain below this, I fear that we are still in a downtrend. I really remember short-term timing the market is very, very difficult. But we did hit a new low, and let's see if what if this is just gonna be a lower high, so to speak, and if really the 12,000 or perhaps even further down is the end. Volume is there, that's for sure, and yeah, I will keep to this this narrative of simplicity when it comes to the technical analysis. With Ethereum, it's the same. We're a little bit closer there to breaking through the 7-day moving average. Let's see what's going to happen. Obviously a lot of volume, right? A lot of volume. Wow. When we look at the overall market, what can we say here? I think we got so many other things to talk about, but it is nice to see. Well, now we're going down a little bit again here the last hour, but let's stay optimistic. Polygon, right? 41%. Now over 7 days, you see, I just said we're probably not higher than where we were 2 days ago, but Polygon up 18% in the top 10, overtook Polkadot. I mean, wow, right? Impressive, impressive. What else do we have here? Solana also has recovered, still down 42%. Now, I mean, I'm not gonna glorify myself. I do that a lot. But remember, we don't have Solana in our portfolio. Now we have mid videos, but when we do cryptocurrency portfolio update, Solana is not a part of our portfolio. We base ourselves on 3 ecosystems: or Polkadot, Ethereum, and Cardano. Right? Of course, a little bit Solana, cannot completely, but we never really emphasized it. I know too little about it. That's all I wanted to say. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying I know too little about it. Just like I know too little about Shiba Inu. What else do we have? Let's just scroll down here a little bit and see. It's just nice to see green, right? It makes you feel better. Chile's up 42%. Nice, nice, but still down 10% over the 7 days, right? Maker up 4% over 7 days. Not bad. Not bad. Synthetics up 17%. And the FTX up 67%, but over 7 days, 85%. Anyway, I think we should move on, because all of this we can, but I like to, talk, chit chat about and look at the prices. Remember, top coin. Don't forget, everything I say and do is not financial advice though, right? Anyway, let's go into the chat and then let's move on. I want to see who is here. If all 10 of us are together forever, right? So, who's here? No Face. How are you doing? Good to see you. We got Krish ready. Yeah, I like that little duck. And Murky McDella, he's back from fasting. He was crypto fasting. I really think that was maybe even the best thing you could do, because the last few months, I mean, it's not been the most funny times in crypto. So I hope you had a well-deserved vacation or fasting. What do you say, Alexander Boyd? Good to see you. I'm so happy you're here. And we got Vex, my good friend, Shahid, and Surfer Girl. I am happy. And Tom is here. How are you doing? Good to see you. It's like old friends coming by. And I also know, I mean, it's not really a turnaround yet, but as the market is going to turn around, we're going to see many old friends coming back. Happy that you are here. Okay, we need to start because time is money, right? It is. So, first of all, remember, I like to Bitcoin's historical corrections, right? And now that we have had a new low of 15,682. So what we are seeing now, again, if we compare to the last 2 historical corrections, we can see they've both lasted 14 months. The one in 2013 to 2015, we saw a high in 13, and it took 14 months, and it lost 86. Bitcoin lost 86% of its value. From 17 to 19, it also took 14 months, and Bitcoin lost 83% of its value from its all-time high. And where are we now? You see, obviously you can always play a little bit with the numbers and so on, right? When we see here high 68,000, well, we go in on Binance, you will see 69,000. Do you take the daily close, the weekly close? I mean, you can always, you can, yeah, how do you say? You can be flexible in that sense. However, if we looked at, we had a new low at 15,000, so from 68,000, I just took the high from CoinMarketCap. We end 12 months and we're down 77%, and that's also why I put the thumbnail. Could this be the low? Maybe we have seen the low. I don't really have a prediction on this, so I guess we just have to, crunch it together and let me know what you think. Was this the low? Because remember, when I predicted 12,000, I did that in January, right? In January the 25th of January. I mean, that's like 10 months ago. And I, predicted 12. Now, if it's 15, I still think that I need a clap on the back and Betty give me a little kiss on the right cheek and on the left cheek. But are we going to see another candle down? Because if we're going to see 12,000, well, then it would be around the 81%. Here, I really don't know. Let me know we all know so many different factors, right? So, but what do we got? Of course, lots of news that I want to point out a little bit from everywhere. Obviously, the first thing is CBDCs that I want to talk about. And remember, you got to follow AtlanticCouncil.org. They can follow how each country is developing their own central bank digital currency. Now, today, this is something that I've been very aware of, but I have not really shared because I find it's kind of complicated. However, today, the clearing house, basically the clearing house is basically the payment settlement layer between all banks. And they were requested by Joe Biden. So basically the Treasury Department issued its request for comment on September the 20th as a part of its ongoing response to President Joe Biden's executive order from March the 9th, right, regarding, to make a study and evaluate if the CBDC would be good for the United States. So the clearinghouse, they actually came out and they're defending the rights of the banks and opposes the CBDC in its comments for the US Treasury. So this is the first time that we're actually seeing some kind of, let's say old institution founded in 18-something that actually more or less, you could almost say it's kind of like a union. What the union is for workers, the clearinghouse is for banks. So it is a little bit, dry and the article is longer, but I just want to highlight these few things. So the clearinghouse, they believe the digital assets posed serious security risks and was concerned that, this is important, that banks have the same opportunities to participate in the market as non-banks. Now, that's very rare that you've heard that from a, let's say, kind of governmental institution, that they feel or scared, concerned that they will not have the same opportunities to participate in the market as non-banks. You see, what they're meaning here is, because obviously, let's just read finished here. The risk associated with the potential issuance of a CBDC in the US outweigh the potential benefits, and it must therefore be determined that a CBDC is not in the national interest. Wow, right? But here's the trick. If we go back 100 years, even since 1907, if you can remember, right, if you were there, the amount of banks we had globally, but let's now focus more on the United States. I don't know how many banks there were, but there were 1,000 different banks. Every local state, there were so many savings banks, commercial banks, all kinds of banks. But as time has moved on, we have continuously seen how banks are disappearing, bought up. And now in the end, today we only have in America, I think like 5 banks that actually even matter. But what ultimately is going to happen is all of these banks, commercial banks, savings banks, are going to disappear. Because the CBDC will actually only have one major bank, one institution, and that is the Federal Reserve. So when the CBDC we don't know, I think so, going to be launched, it would actually be the Federal Reserve and the end user, you and I. So we don't need these commercial banks anymore. So when they are referring to banks have the same opportunities to participate in the market as non-banks, they are talking about who are they scared of? DeFi, baby. all the big DeFi coins that I really have been trying to, push down your throats. Curve, Aave, Compound, Synthetics. Did I forget some there? They are going to be the platforms that, like clearinghouses, right? That's basically what they are. DeFi, decentralized finance, lending, providing liquidity. Therefore, this is the only place that where the Federal Reserve will have, or the government, or the elite, or whoever what you want to call them, they're going to see some loud voices, right? Some of these banks, they don't want to disappear because overnight nobody's going to use them, need them. Anyway, I think I wanted to point that out because this can be interesting, right? So let's see what's going to happen there. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about Sam Friedman. Obviously, it has really had an impact, and that's all we hear about. I wanted to, Mike Novogratz, I don't know if you know him, but he was one of the earliest investors into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Kind of a legend. I mean, I think he's also a fun guy. On CNBC was sitting there with a summer hat and drinking a beer and saying Bitcoin is the future. Anyway, what he did say, however, was that he said that, investors will most likely not be able to recover any of their coins from FTX. And I just want to point that out. He was also exposed, right? He took a net loss of 68 million. So it also goes to show that some very sophisticated investors, early investors, whales, call them what you want, that also have been hit. So in case you have lost, in case any of you here have lost, coins with FTX, then I hope it wasn't all, but don't feel too bad about it because even Mike didn't know better. Now with Sam, I say we're not going to talk too much about it, but apparently it seems here he is really, there's a real shit show for him, and it seems he's going to be, here the FTX Japan ordered by regulator to suspend operation following withdrawal halt. So anyway, it looks like he's going to have to deal with not only the United States regulator, but perhaps also regulators from other places around the world. He might just have to go and visit a few, could be potentially imprisoned for this, right? And this could happen. Anyway, let's see what happens. I still think that it's better that we got a bad apple out of the ecosystem, and it's a lesson well learned. So from every crypto cycle, it doesn't matter if it's a bull cycle or bear cycle, we learn, and the industry becomes more and more mature and and secure, and that is really what we need. Move on to mass adoption, because I mean, as I've also pointed out before, in 2000, after we had the last time 2018, right, or 17, 18, I mean, we also had 3 years, almost 3 years, 2 years, whatever, crypto winter. And I can tell you it was very difficult to find any meaningful information that would uplift your mood and make you believe that crypto is still the future. I can tell you from after 2018 until 2020 and something like that. To me it felt like 10 years, but I was also doubting it. Is it really going to be? Is it really going to be? Because it was so difficult to find any kind of information. But now, every day we get new news regarding mass adoption, about how traditional industries, companies are going to migrate onto the blockchain. And, not a big fan of Subway, but Subway are going to accept Bitcoin so users can get a sandwich on the Lightning Network. And this is big, right? I mean, just one of many companies, global enterprises that are migrating onto this. So, and this was actually done in Berlin, of all places, right? So what did it say? The world's largest franchise by number of restaurants is trialing Bitcoin payments at 3 Subways in Germany's capital, Berlin. And Subway first experimented with Bitcoin almost 13 years ago in Moscow. Oh, wow. Well, so they're early birds. However, over the past few months, they have recorded over 120 Bitcoin transactions. That's really not a lot, right? But it is just another sign that mass adoption is coming. And that is why it's so important that you and we are here. Now, Ledger. We wanted to share this news with you or update about Ledger. It is so important. If there's one thing that I guess what we have learned from not only from FTX but from this past, let's say bear cycle or whatever problem cycle, is it is so important that you keep your coins in your own wallet. It really is. It's not, and what did they say? It's not your keys. It's not your coins. And I use Ledger. I have three different ledgers for Betty, and it is the most popular crypto asset secure wallet. I've never had any problems with my hardware ledger, but today apparently they had what did they say? Ledger saw a massive usage of their platforms and suffered a few scalability challenges. However, I don't really think that this is going to be an ongoing problem. I have to say, Ledger has been very, very, you've been able to rely on it. So if you don't have a hardware wallet, I would recommend you Ledger. Really, really important. Really important. And you see, we also use centralized exchanges, also use decentralized exchanges, but always make sure not to leave too many coins on the centralized exchanges. So what do we got? Now let's move into a bit of geopolitical news, because I think this could have an impact on the overall market and traditional markets, and obviously also the crypto markets. Now we don't want to spoil the mood of a good day, but there are, let's say, some news that are not so positive, and I do believe that these tensions between Russia and America that are basically, fighting a proxy war in Ukraine, the West versus the East is continuing. So the British government, they said on Thursday, it had overall frozen assets belonging to Russian individuals and entities worth 18 billion pounds. That's $20 billion. That's a lot, right? And furthermore, they said they've imposed more severe sanctions ever on Russia, and it's crippling their war machine. At least that's what Andrew Griffith, he said. And Britain has so far sanctioned more than 1,200 individuals and more than 120 entities. What I'm saying is, because it's always like tit for tat, right? So now UK is doing this. Well, what's the next move going to be from Russia? In case you were not here yesterday, this is a slide from yesterday. This has not been covered really by mainstream news. But India and Russia, they are soul brothers, right? And last year we saw that all India's oil import, only 0.2% was imported from Russia. However, this year, Russia is now the biggest supplier of oil to India, with 22% share of total crude oil imports to India. So this is quite significant, right? Piece of news. And this is also strengthening the SCO, right? The Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now, before we are ending, and we should do some Q&A, maybe even look at some charts, we need to talk what's going on also more specifically with Ukraine and Russia, because it goes along to the news right before, but Norway has decided to give 147 million to Ukraine. And this is in addition to the 50 million that Norway already previously donated to the fund, a UK fund supporting Ukraine. So, and then the next thing is, this is actually was also quite surprising, because it looks now like Ukraine is also pissing on China's feet. And so Chinese investors decry Kiev's plunder. Now, I'm not sure that, I did not actually know, but there's an aviation company in Ukraine which is called, what's it called here? I forgot the name. Motorsik, and they actually produce, manufacture, or build the biggest airplanes in the world for cargo. So what happened was that so a Chinese company engaged in a legal battle over a majority stake in Motorsik, because Ukraine's leading aviation company has opposed the shameless actions by the Ukrainian state to take over the company under wartime authority, calling it a plunder. So this week it was revealed that Ukraine's security regulator had ordered the seizure of the privately owned shares of several key enterprises, including Motorsic. You see, what we have right, what we have right now is martial law in Ukraine, right? And when I say we, it's because I am here. And with martial law, basically means that President Zelensky, he has basically dictator rights, right? So he can do basically whatever he wants. So that's what they did, pissing on Chinese investors. And anyway, Beijing, they have filed a claim of compensation against Ukraine in the Hague-based Permanent Court of Arbitration. And they claim that these actions has cost $4.5 billion in damage. Last piece of Ukraine news is that at least Israel, they said it's impossible to supply Ukraine with military weapons. And they actually said that the country does not possess the production capabilities in order to provide air defense systems to Ukraine. Now, in case you don't know, I think Israel, they have the best missile defense system in the world. So yeah, I don't know. That's the piece of news, and I like, because I really feel that this Ukraine war should have ended a long time ago, and so does our good friend from the Jimmy Dore show.
So there you go. There's your piece of shit Ukrainian president who everybody still thinks is a hero because they watch the news and think it's real. Congratulations, you dumb fucks.
That's it, the news. Samuel, how are you doing, my good friend? I always love it when you pass by, all the way from Nigeria. How are you, blockchain bully? Good afternoon. Here with me, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. So I just need to have a Bahama Mama moment, and then you see if there's any questions, or if not, then we're just gonna wish each other a good night and see what the markets are going to bring. Bahama Mama. Hey. So, let me know. What do you say? Just to get closer. This was just to get us closer to 12K. Anyway, guys, yeah, I felt that I shared some news relevant. I don't know, really. Yeah, relevant. They are all relevant. Of course, I'm also a little bit confused. Where are we really gonna see the markets heading in the short term? Do you think with Google jumping into the space, will it hurt or help the graph? Well, good night. Yeah, that's after this. I'm gonna go. I have to, Murky. That's a good question, and I need to. I can't give you a clear answer on that. I need to digest it first. But my initial thought would be that I think that everybody wants to go away from the big tech major companies, right? Like Facebook and Google and Amazon cloud storage, right? So if we're going to see decentralized protocols offering something decentralized, then I think that I think people probably will go with decentralization. And that's why I think also that the decentralized cloud storage, they have so much potential, and for sure also when it comes to providing data. But I have to look, it's actually good. You gave me something to read up on. What's your opinion on Polkadot being recognized as a software now? Pretty dope. Yeah. I mean, that's also what I wanted to say. I think there are, if I would look at the base layers that I really believe or think that really has potential, it is Polkadot, it is Cardano, it is Ethereum. And then of course there's some layer two protocols such as Optimism, such as obviously Matic, Polygon. I mean these are the majors. And there's now one of the base layers that I forgot, which we are going to launch a video on. I think it's Avalanche, because it seems like they have also they're developing some technology regarding with the that can have the security for quant computing not being able to jeopardize the security of the CBDC. So I think these are kind of like the base layers that I would recommend to focus on. So yeah, Polkadot great. That's why I've not been so much into the others like Solana. Never heard anything bad there. But I would really focus on Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano, and don't forget, and then the layer 2s on Ethereum. Trust your instinct. Algorand, I think it's Algorand. I think you're right. Thank God you said that. Yeah. That's also where, yeah, Algorand. I think it's Algorand where they have this Italian name founder who is also a professor, I think, at MIT. Right? I mean, sometimes I'm not 100% up to date and mix the names, but this is the project. I think it's Algorand actually. Well, Polkadot will solve this issue. Big Tech will run as software decentralized. Now, CryptoWala, where have you been? It is good to see old friends passing by. So much love to all of you, I really have to say. Ay. And also Samuel has been here for so long. It's amazing. It's already quantum resistant. There you go. There. Ay. No face here. You're giving me a good old-fashioned lesson here. Yeah. Silvio Micali, yeah, I mean, and it is always quantum resistant. Yes, and that's what I was thinking about. I want to launch a video on that, and I also have to look further into that because we've not been speaking really about Algorand. So I think Algorand is going to be actually a new coin for cryptocurrency portfolio update. So thank you for sharing. Cardano, no chance. Well, with Cardano, I don't know. I mean, with Cardano, we gotta see, right? Charles is sure taking his time, and the question really remains that by the time the Cardano is really ready, and we have seen all these troubles, and I've always said from the beginning, we are not going to need 200 different DeFi platforms, protocols, right? So, but let's see. I wouldn't say Cardano no chance, but I really hope that I hope I'm still optimistic on Cardano. I really am. Okay, guys, thank you so much. And good to see you, Cindy. Good morning. I love it here. I'm going to say good night because I'm going to go to bed now here. Thank you for being here. And what can I say? Stay strong. And let's see. Exciting times. And I really can't say we're going to go up or down. The market's really volatile. Be honest, impossible. Just look at him. Impossible. Okay, guys, I see you tomorrow. Stay strong and all them goodies. I love you and thank you for being here. See you tomorrow. Never quit.
When you feel like quitting, remember all of those who said you'd fail. When you feel like giving up, remember why you started. When you feel like quitting, remember what you're doing it all for. When you feel like quitting, remember, pain is temporary and greatness lasts forever.
When you feel like quitting, remember that the pain you feel today will be replaced with the strength you need tomorrow. Remember that every ounce of pain you feel is building a stronger you, a stronger body, a stronger mind, and a stronger character. So push through the pain. Don't let it stop you. Force it to grow you.
Don't back down from the pain. Face it. Feel no pain. There is no pain. That painful last rep. That's nothing. Give me more. Push harder.
Too tired, too hard, too busy, too early, too stressed. No excuses. Too tired. No excuses. Too hard. No excuses. Too busy. No excuses. Too early. No excuses. Too stressed. No excuses. When I feel like quitting, I remember there's too many people I need to prove wrong. When I feel like quitting, I remember I have too much to fight for. I will not quit.
Sleep-ins, they're for grandmas. I'm up, I'm ready to go. Quitting, that's for those who have no heart. I do not quit. Your greatest physique, your greatest health, your greatest strength, it doesn't come with average effort. If you want average results, keep showing up and giving average effort. If you want to be at your best, you will have to give your best effort. Make an oath to yourself that you will not walk out of any training session, any game, anything without giving 110% of your soul. Whatever you think is your limit, push past it. Whatever you think is your max, see if you can get 10% more out. Results don't lie. It all comes down to one simple question. How bad do you want it? And when you feel like quitting, give me 10 more.
Nothing great is going to come if you quit. I know it's hard. I know you are tired. I know it seems impossible, but you must keep going. Stick it out and get your reward.
When you feel like quitting, remember all